Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to a new episode of the League of Myths series. Please don't forget to throw in a like if you do end up enjoying this episode. And without much further ado, let us go straight to the first myth. The first myth, submitted by Dart Vter 2. If Twitch ults a line of wards, will his ultimate hit all of the wards within the line or just the one that he's targeting? So we all know and love Twitch's ultimate because it can go through several opponents and hit multiple people at the same time. But at the same time, if you have your ultimate on and try attacking something like the Nexus, it will simply not hit it. And wards usually have a very unique way in terms of how they act. So this is actually a very interesting myth, and the results are not exactly what I expected. And you can see as I pop the ultimate and attack the last ward, it hits all three of them. I switch targets to the middle ward and it still hits all three of them. So definitely keep this in mind for your next game as Twitch, as this is somewhat valuable information. The spray part of your ultimate can hit wards. Now the second myth, submitted by Jared Tanz on Twitter. Can Nami's ultimate hit the same target twice, using for example Ezreal E or Blitz's pull? So for this one, we decided to try two test case scenarios. In the first one, we're using only what a champion has for himself, in this case Ezreal's E and his flash. As Nami hits me with her ultimate, I use my E and flash to cover as much distance as I can, trying to get back under the wave, and as I do, it does not hit me again. But maybe I didn't cover enough distance fast enough, so this is where Blitz comes in. And for this one, the same principles are applied. I stand beside Nami, get hit ASAP with her ultimate. And just as I get hit, the Blitz pulls me to his location to try and get in front of the tidal wave. And just as you saw, that is exactly what happened. I got pushed to the front of the wave and it went through me once again. However, the second time it did not do any damage, nor apply any CC effects. The next myth, submitted by RLHRY on Twitter. Will a buff apply to someone who dies while killing it, including revive? So this myth is actually somewhat interesting as well, and there are going to be two test case scenarios, the second one being a lot more interesting. In the first one, the testing principles are as follows. Nunu is going to be tanking a very low HP blue buff, while myself, the Nidalee player, is going to throw my Q to kill it at maximum range. And just as I throw my spear, Pantheon is going to kill me in one auto attack or Q. And the thing we're trying to test in the first test case scenario is as I throw my Q to kill the blue buff and die, my spear will kill the blue buff after I die. So if I respawn after 20 seconds, will I have the blue buff? And long story short, the answer is no. In the second test case scenario, the principles are the exact same. However, this time, as I throw my spear and die, the goal is to use revive before my spear hits the blue buff. And just as it happens, I throw my spear, Pantheon kills me, I use revive, all while the spear is still flying to the blue buff, and as I revive in base, the spear finally kills the blue buff, and there you go, the buff finally transfers to me, even though I'm on the other side of the map. And the final myth, submitted by Syndra Zed. Can Zed stack up his Deathmark ultimate damage while Kayle pops her ultimate? So we know Kayle's ultimate does stop damage, but the question is, will the damage that Zed does to Kayle while his Deathmark is on her still apply to the Deathmark but not exactly straight to her HP? So here we simply did a basic Deathmark to see how much damage it does, and it was 89. And now in the actual test, I will simply use my Deathmark on the Kayle. She will pop her ultimate just as I place the Deathmark. I will try doing a full skill set rotation to put as much damage as I can. And her ultimate will wear off before my Deathmark pops. And we will see that if the damage that I'm doing to her that is technically being blocked by her ultimate, so her HP is not being affected, still affects the damage that his ultimate can do, assuming it is not blocked as well. And as you can see here, the damage is only 91, and the reason it's higher is because of the level up. So the answer to this myth is no, it will not add the bonus damage to Deathmark. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of League of Myths. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to hit